We're going to do a new segment this week, aren't we?
We are.
And it's called Back Row Reviews.
It's Backseat Reviews.
So we both watched a film, didn't we?
The first time.
You say that, but it's been quite a while.
It has been, actually.
I don't watch films generally at all.
I can't decide.
Yes.
I'm just like, rubbish. Ooh, maybe.
Yeah.
Rubbish, maybe.
Which one did I say maybe to? I've forgotten. Turn the TV off.
It's been an hour.
Yeah. We've used the time that we could have used watching the film, trying to decide what to watch.
Exactly.
So this is part of the reason why I think it's a good idea for us to get back into watching films a little bit.
To get us out more.
Yeah, out of our comfort zones, if not outside. So we both watched Creed 2 this week.
This was a film which wasn't hard to choose to watch.
No, it wasn't. You text me just saying, Creed 2's on Netflix. We haven't seen it. Why don't we watch it for the podcast? We didn't say for the podcast, but I was like, for the podcast?
Yeah.
Because that's all I do things for these days. But it was a film that I wanted to see. We saw Creed 1 together many moons ago.
Yeah, so
we both lived together.
this review will be as much about Creed 1 as it will be about Creed 2.
Yes, definitely. We're going to mention it a bit.
Yeah, we watched Creed 1 together at the cinema, and we both came out thinking that is an excellent film.
So much better than I was expecting it to be.
Yes.
I haven't seen Rocky 5 and 6, but you told me they were awful. So, and I believed you. But Rocky 1, 2, 3 and 4 are great films.
Yes.
3 is a little bit rubbish, but
yeah,
4 is back to class. And Creed 2 picks up from sort of Rocky 4, doesn't it? It uses a lot of throwback stuff to that.
Yes, so it is Apollo Creed's son.
Mm-hmm. Spoilers before anyone lands down on
Yeah.
It's only a 3-year-old film, but you never know.
So Apollo Creed's son, Adonis, versus Ivan Drago's son.
Yeah.
Ivan Drago, the Russian boxer who killed Apollo Creed in
the ring.
Rocky 4.
Yeah. Whilst watching the film, I was like, I can't really remember what happened in the Creed, the old Creed fight versus, what's his name? Drago. Yeah. So I watched that on YouTube, and it was supposed to be an exhibition match, wasn't it? Yeah. And Drago went off against a very old Creed who was too old to box, really, at that point, and went on to kill him. And so, the whole of this film basically was based around that of Creed trying to back up.
So a boxing promoter wants to get them to fight each other because of all of that back story.
So this is going to be something that I think we should use this is going to be a new segment, basically. Yeah. Weirdo of the week, or weird character of the week. The film promoter was a weird character for me in this film.
Didn't say a lot. It
wasn't in it, oddly.
Drifted in to different scenes out of nowhere.
Yeah, like there's that bit when he's in the club talking to Creed, and like they're watching his deaf girlfriend singing, and he's like, "Oh, she's got a beautiful voice, and why don't you come and do this fight?" And then he leaves with a statement of like, "I mean it, really beautiful voice," in like a threatening sort of way, like a mafioso way,
like he's gonna take out a vocal cords or something.
It'd be a shame if she lost it, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, and then he's not in it again.
No,
he doesn't say another word after that, and it is very weird. He's a weird character, and they cut to him as well in the final fight. He's ringside in the fight,
smile with a
with like a knowing smile. What?
He doesn't care. He doesn't care that Adonis has won.
Yeah, all he cares is money. Yeah, is very. He's just a weird character all the way through the film. I thought it was worth mentioning.
Yeah. But, the film in general, though, good. I liked it.
Yes.
Not as good as Creed 1.
Definitely not, no. There was bits that I thought, this is rubbish. Yeah. But there was a lot that I thought, this is quite good. It was very watchable, easily watchable. Yeah.
Straight away, it tugs on the heartstrings.
Yes.
Straight away, it's pulling on those, Rocky nostalgia.
Yeah, more so than Creed 1, I thought. Yeah.
Which it was always going to, given
the storyline that they were going for. Mm-hmm.
Which I think is a bit of a shame.
Yes.
Because Creed 1 didn't need to. It didn't pull on them so strongly.
That's why I think we both walked out of Creed 1 enjoying it so much, is because we were expecting a lot of nostalgia, throwback stuff, or the Rocky theme and everything, but in Creed 1 there was very little of that.
No, there's just enough.
Yeah,
just the right amount.
Yeah, exactly. It was enough to say, yeah, we are continuing the story, but we're not just redoing the same story.
Yeah.
Whereas this one felt a little bit more, we're sort of redoing.
Yes.
We're sort of redoing the story.
And the reason I still like it is because I really like the Rocky films.
Yeah, they're easy to watch, aren't they?
And it's another Rocky film.
Yeah, and you didn't know what was going to happen. You knew the main things that were going to happen. Yeah. I felt all the way through he's going to lose the first match. And I knew that because it was only halfway through the film.
So, once it was clear that first match was happening then, you knew he was going to lose it.
Yeah, well, he didn't technically lose it, did he? He lost. Yeah. He lost to an illegal shot. Yeah. So didn't lose his belt. And then that was what made him sort of, I need to go and do the proper rematch and all that. And it was quite predictable, I thought, all that stuff. Yeah. Which is not necessarily the worst thing in a sports film. You kind of know. Yeah. In sports films, quite often you know what's going to happen. You know who's going to win which games and lose which games. So it's not necessarily the worst thing, but it would have been nicer for it to have taken me by surprise a little bit. I thought the start of the film where Creed first got his belt was very quickly done. There was no sort of fanfare about him winning that first match. It was just like, I'm world champion now. So, I couldn't remember the end of Creed 1, how it ended. So I couldn't remember whether they'd sort of set up the fact that he was on the verge of being... Because he wasn't a boxer, was he, at the start of Creed 1? He just started boxing because he met Rocky, and I think he didn't want to be a boxer because of his dad, didn't he? Yeah. So all that early bit was a bit rushed and a bit weird. But then towards the end, they sort of set it up very quickly. But then the rest of it there was a lot of emotional sort of turmoil. So one of the weird things I thought was, not to do with the boxing, was his daughter being born deaf. Yeah. I wasn't sure why they were so disappointed about that, because she's deaf. And she's a singer. Bianca.
All right.
Yeah. I know you don't want it.
Maybe she's just found it. Maybe she just knows, how hard it's going to be for them growing up. Maybe she had a really hard time. She probably did.
Yeah, she probably did. But I think nowadays it's better for deaf people. There's a lot more technology and stuff. And she's going on all right. She's got good hearing aids and stuff that she can hear. Maybe it'd be worse for the baby, and maybe that they didn't. I know you wouldn't want it, but why they were so scared of it was a bit confusing to me. But I couldn't remember her backstory as to whether she'd been bullied so badly for it or something like that. I couldn't remember that from Creed 1.
No,
but that was a strange story point.
Yeah, it wasn't really necessary. If you're going to go the Rocky route, you don't need to add all that stuff in.
No, I mean, Rocky always had Adrian, and there was always the back. It can't all be about boxing for a Rocky film. There's always a bit of personality. And I like that. I did like their sort of off court, or whatever, out of the ring antics and stuff that was going on. It was quite interesting.
Antics.
Well, she got pregnant, did she? So that was a weird bit of the film. Well,
I did like the montage.
Yes, same.
Another ridiculous. You always got to go old school. You always have to go back to the roots of boxing.
Even more so than normal this time.
We're going to a desert.
We're just going to go out into the desert where there's some blokes. What are they doing out there?
And
where do they live? Yeah, it's in the middle of nowhere.
And we're going to hit the ground with a sledgehammer.
That was another weird bit. What was that about?
I don't know, but I like it.
What's the training there? Swinging a sledgehammer. Why have we got to hit the ground with it?
The finisher, isn't it?
Why can't
the sledgehammer?
Oh, he's got the sledgehammer from under the ring. So it was quite a good montage. As
it
they
was
always
very
are.
Inspirational. He fell over. He got up.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly what I want from a Rocky montage. Yes.
I like the fact that it's got a hip hop theme to it as well.
Yes.
It's like Rocky, but it plays more to the Creed character.
Yes.
It's really good. I like that. And they also did play the Rocky music in the final fight.
It's in there, isn't it?
Oh, it got me. Yeah, in the final fight, it got me. They'll
keep playing it in Creed.
Of course they will. 6. It's such a great piece of music. You can't not, can you? It's so stirring and it's brilliant. There was one line that I heard that I thought was very funny. there's a bit on the TV when they're talking about the fight. I think it's before the first Creed Drago, the new Creed Drago fight, and they're talking about what happened when Apollo Creed died, and the news reporter says Balboa defeated Drago in his own backyard, Russia. It's not his backyard, is it? It made me laugh a lot because it's just the way that they sort of left the space and they're like, Russia, in case you didn't know, it wasn't literally his backyard.
It also suggests he has a bigger country adjoining.
Yeah, he lives in Turkmenistan, but his backyard's Russia, so I don't know why that made me laugh so much, but it did. I thought it was very funny. And then, there was another weird bit when he tried to get Rocky to train him for the fight, and they're sort of talking outside, and Rocky's sort of jabbering away as he does. He's trying not to talk about it, and he goes, "Oh, what good is a light that don't light, right?" About the street lamp that's outside. And I thought that was classic Rocky.
Yes, absolutely.
It's just complete nonsense.
Just say what you see.
Yeah. What's happening out here? There's no lights on. Is that good?
I think something I picked up on. Ivan Drago is waiting before the fight is confirmed to try and convince Rocky to take the fight, or to try and convince Rocky to get Adonis Creed to take the fight. Ivan Drago is waiting for him in his restaurant.
Yeah, I like that.
Just sat at a table. Yeah, like this huge guy. Rocky wanders over to him, walks around to face him, and just says, "Hey, you."
Did he say, "Is it you"?
I thought he said, "Hey, you."
I couldn't tell because he doesn't talk well. He just slurs a lot, doesn't he? I thought he said, "Is it you?"
Equally silly.
It doesn't make any sense.
To say to somebody who killed your best friend.
Yeah, and it clearly is them. They're sitting there. Yeah, I thought it was a very good scene there. That I thought it was, and what I liked about that was the only time really that they used Rocky and Dolph Lundgren in the same scene.
Yeah, they
didn't really play up the Rocky. Versus,
they didn't end up fighting again.
No, which I thought would have been a great end to the film. But no, I thought
two old men wheezing.
Dolph Lundgren still looks like he could beat somebody up. He's a
absolutely
big lad, isn't he? Yeah. I watched again the sort of introduction to Ivan Drago when he's young, and they're like he was like bred to be
in like the facility,
and he's like trained so that all he does is punch things hard. Is awesome. It's so cool. That was something I thought that this film missed a little bit. Is that Victor didn't seem that scary.
He didn't seem as scary. I quite like now Adonis is like at the top and he's got all the training that he could ever want.
Yeah,
and Victor Drago was doing the old school training coming from the slums.
That's a good point actually. It's like a flip.
Whereas in Rocky 4, Rocky was training on his own, lifting logs,
beating up
stuff.
meat. Yeah, that's a good point. Actually, I hadn't thought of that. Rocky is that one, isn't he? He's the guy who came up from nothing. Yeah. And I guess Creed has as well to some extent, if I remember Creed 1 right. But now he's got all the trainers, all the facilities, and everything, which I guess was what Apollo Creed was. Yeah, in the original one, but not Rocky. Yeah, that's quite a good point. But I thought Victor was a little bit undersold.
I think so.
It was more about Ivan, wasn't it? Still, and how mean he was to Victor. It's quite a nice scene at the end where he's like, "You did well, son," and then they're running together. That was quite nice. Yeah. Hopefully they're in it again as the good guys, like Terminator 2.
Ooh,
that'd be good, wouldn't it?
That would be cool.
Team up, doubles boxing against two Mr. T's. So if you're listening, Rocky Sylvester, that's our ideas. Okay, how are we gonna end this section? I think is we'll give it a rating. Why not? Yeah,
one each or one between us.
I think we'll both give it an individual one. We'll write down an individual one, and then we'll discuss as to why we think, and then we'll come to a backseat decision. Okay, same at the same time. 3, 2, 1, 7.
8.
Ooh, 8. Okay. What did you think it was an 8?
Oh, it's still a Rocky film at the end of the day.
It was very enjoyable, wasn't it?
And it was better than Rocky 3, it was better than Rocky 5, it was better than Rocky 6.
But
not as good as Creed 2.
Creed 1, yeah.
Yeah. Not as good as Creed 1.
And probably not as good as Rocky 1, 2 or 4, I don't think.
Probably not.
So that's why I gave it a 7. I thought it was good but a bit predictable.
Yes.
So if it had done something a bit more out of the box, then I think it would have gotten a higher score for me. I enjoyed it, but I don't think it's the sort of film I'd watch again.
Possibly
Whereas
not.
I could watch back the Rocky films. And probably Creed 1.
But if I was watching the Rocky films and Creed 1, I'd throw in Creed 2
I would watch Creed 2 as well. But I would, that's true. But I wouldn't watch Rocky 5 and 6. So,
We don't want to go too high too soon, so I think 7's fair.
We'll split the difference. Call it 7.5.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
It's Backseat Reviews.